The question which Weber attempts to answer is simple and fundamental. It is that of the psychological conditions which made possible the development of capitalist civilization. Capitalism, in the sense of great individual undertakings involving the control of large financial resources and yielding riches to their masters as a result of speculation, money lending, commercial enterprise, buccaneering, and war, is as old as history. Capitalism as an economic system, resting on the organization of legally free wage earners for the purpose of pecuniary profit by the owner of capital or his agents, and setting its stamp on every aspect of society, is a modern phenomenon. All revolutions are declared to be natural and inevitable once they are successful, and capitalism, as the type of economic system prevailing in Western Europe and America, is clothed today with the unquestioned respectability of the triumphant fact. But in its youth, it was a pretender, and it was only after centuries of struggle that its title was established. For it involved a code of economic conduct and a system of human relations which were sharply at variance with venerable conventions, with the accepted scheme of social ethics, and with the law, both of the Church and of most European states. So questionable an innovation demanded of the pioneers who first experimented with it as much originality, self-confidence, and tenacity of purpose as is required today of those who would break from the net that it has woven. What influence nerved them to defy tradition? From what source did they derive the principles to replace it? The conventional answer to these questions is to deny their premises. The rise of new forms of economic enterprise was the result, it is argued, of changes in the character of the economic environment. It was due to the influx of the precious metals from America in the 16th century, to the capital accumulated in extra-European commerce, to the reaction of expanding markets on industrial organization, to the growth of population, to technological improvements made possible by the progress of natural science. Weber's reply, which is developed at greater length in his general economic history than in the present essay, is that such explanations confuse causes and occasions. Granted that the economic conditions of the 16th and 17th centuries were, in some respects, though by no means in all, unusually favorable to an advance in economic technique, such conditions had existed from time to time in the past, without giving birth to the development of capitalist industry. In many of the regions affected by them, no such development took place, nor were those which enjoyed the highest economic civilization necessarily those in which the new order found its most congenial environment. The France of Louis XIV commanded resources which, judged by the standards of the age, were immense, but they were largely dissipated in luxury and war. The America of the 18th century was economically primitive, but it is in the maxims of Franklin that the spirit of bourgeois capitalism, which, rather than the grandiose schemes of mercantilist statesmen, was to dominate the future, finds, Weber argues, its naivest and most lucid expression. To appeal as an explanation to the acquisitive instincts is even less pertinent, for there is little reason to suppose that they have been more powerful during the last few centuries than in earlier ages. The notion that our rationalistic and capitalistic age is characterized by a stronger economic interest than other periods is childish. The moving spirits of modern capitalism are not possessed of a stronger economic impulse than, for example, an Oriental trader. The unchaining of the economic interest, merely as such, has produced only irrational results. Such men as Cortes and Pizarro, who were perhaps its strongest embodiment, were far from having an idea of a rationalistic economic life. The word rationalism is used by Weber as a term of art to describe an economic system based not on custom or tradition, but on the deliberate and systematic adjustment of economic means to the attainment of the objective of pecuniary profit. The question is why this temper triumphed over the conventional attitude which had regarded the appetitus divitiarum infinitus, the unlimited lust for gain, as antisocial and immoral. His answer is that it was the result of movements which had their source in the religious revolution of the 16th century. Earlier ages had been denounced as vices. The force which produced it was the creed associated with the name of Calvin. Capitalism was the social counterpart of Calvinist theology.